The following is a paid program sponsored by Get Elevated. Please be advised that the voices and opinions you hear do not necessarily represent the views of KUNV Las Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education.
Please note that while we will cover a multitude of topics, including many alleged health benefits, all information provided should be considered anecdotal and informational. Please consult with your physician before adding cannabis to your medical regimen. Cannabis is for adults 21 years of age and older. Also, paid sponsorships are not to be misconstrued as preferred or favored by the host. In any way, they are merely that, paid sponsorships. Good morning and happy Saturday. Welcome to another episode of Get Elevated with Gia. G-Money! I'm in the studio with Ray Fletcher and crew. Hi, Ray. And April Rondon, part 2, coming back to us for cannabis and energy work / bodywork / massage and Reiki. So welcome back, April.
Hey.
The last session we talked about your journey to cannabis and then how that became part of your life, part of your massage work and your corporate experience doing all the local Canyon Ranch and casinos, and that's a lot of start. And then after your father's passing, you decided to live your life and set up your own shop at the Art of Healing.
Yeah, and so his passing, that's when I really started to use it more.
Sure, as a coping mechanism as well as...
Yeah, because it was very painful. Like I had to take a break from Canyon Ranch. It was actually qualified as a... I got like unemployment for it. Like I had to do counseling.
Okay.
My brain cracked.
Of course.
I didn't know how to process his passing at all. There was just a moment where I felt like I didn't even know myself. And so during that time, I had a lot of like, what am I doing with my life? You know? And I could feel his love and energy through me, encouraging me to go after whatever it is I wanted, you know? And one of the last books he gave me was The Alchemist.
I love that.
And it was like he was just speaking directly to my heart.
I love The Alchemist. That is a game changer for so many people.
Yeah. And it really was my story too in being a business owner, because it was like a rough start. Like so much excitement and then so much tragedy.
Sure.
And just like the boy in The Alchemist, it's like he thought he was actually going to die in that moment, and then boom, he sees the treasure.
Right.
And so I feel like I'm in the treasure right now, and that is my work to stay in it.
Sure,
know?
Of course. Also known as in your heart. You're in your heart right now, staying in that.
Your
That's
treasure
the
is
ultimate
where your
treasure.
heart is.
That's right. So tell us about your work now. And what I want the listeners to want to go into as our experiences that we've had. But I want to talk about how you've really embraced cannabis as a whole into your work versus kind of dabbling. And then I want to share being a receiver of that and so forth. So please.
So first year in business, that was my vision, was to be a more energetic massage therapist. And I started getting into guided meditations, power animals, spirit animals, just getting out of fear-based thinking and being called into more creative ways and outlets to spirit. That really just set up a new foundation of what type of massage therapist that I am. I had no condemnation anymore with cannabis too.
Right, you were clean with the story.
And it just brought my massages to such beautiful, authentic movements. It's like dancing almost.
Right.
You know, you just get into the music and then you really feel the person. You know, like I'll stop and just leave my hands on them. And then when it's time to move, I'll start just moving my hands.
You'll know.
And
well, let me back up. When you're approaching a session, is there a way that you set it up differently now to tap into this more?
Yeah, I do stand over them a bit and just put my hands on my chest, and I just try to say, whatever this person needs, I'm your vessel. You just show me where it is. You know, talk to me. When I'm massaging them, they'll speak to me, and I'll try to just pay attention to the signs and signals. Does this mean something? Because that's what we need in life to have more passion. Like, where's the signs? Look in the clouds. What do you see? Like, and so that's why people feel very creative when they get massages from me. And the same thing when I get energy.
You're saying
work
it
from
triggers their creativity?
It does.
Oh.
Yeah. And we have very interesting conversations too.
Okay.
And sometimes when I'm massaging someone, they feel very open to talk about trauma or whatever they've been through.
The trauma's in the body and you move it around.
And so that's why their throat gets activated and their heart.
Okay.
Because like the heart and throat, you speak what's in your heart.
Yes.
And they start talking about it. And I've learned to listen. If there's a similar story, give it feedback, because it also affirms to the person you're not alone in this.
Absolutely.
I not only empathize.
So you're doing you're doing therapy.
It is. And I've had plenty of that. Church is free therapy.
Sure.
You know? Yeah. And actually seeing a therapist.
Sure.
Like when my dad died. And
of course.
So having good awareness of conversational boundaries, you know, and knowing how to just give a platform instead of digging in deep in your own way. You just ask questions. And it comes from a very genuine place of like, I really want to know, like, how does that make you feel? That's very cliche.
How does that make you feel? Yeah. right. But it's the question. Yeah.
And I think I'm very like fearless when it comes to connecting deeper with people in questions while massaging them. That's very intimate. That's very personal.
Yes.
And I feel very confident in doing it because I've disciplined myself to honor people's conversations, leave it in the room, transmute it, right? And I don't like to trash talk, even when I want to.
Of course.
And it sucks.
Of course, that's the ego. Yeah.
My clients know me, you know?
And they respect all those pieces of you. Then.
Yes. And there's still very healthy boundaries. Like when I'm having a crappy day, I don't unload that on them.
You know what I find that? Sometimes hairdressers, nail techs, I'm not saying this personally, so if you're out there listening, that's not you. But I've noticed, I mean, for the years I've been doing hair and receiving hair, nail, and all that treatment, like, I don't want to hear about your stuff.
Right.
I'm paying you. You're my therapist for the hour.
Unless it's
I want to talk my
relatable
junk. Totally.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
you know what? So especially a massage. I've had massage where it's like, I really don't want to hear this.
Right.
I'm paying to relax.
Yes.
So thank you for being mindful.
Yeah. And there are times even where I want to just give feedback and I'm like, it's not time yet.
Right.
Like, just listen.
Because they also don't want things solved. Oh, you should tell your boss this. Like, okay, I don't need that. I just came here to talk and get it out of there, you know, because you're moving that energy.
Or I'll just say, that's good. That's good stuff.
And I think you know by now that if someone is talking, that's what they need to be doing in that moment.
Yes.
And like I when I'm receiving a treatment or giving, it's like if someone is talking, even though that wasn't maybe the original intention, like that's exactly what they need to do and hold space for that. Yeah. So going back to your routine, you come 100. What does that look like? If someone's coming in for a massage with you, how is your preparation?
I still try to keep a very like Zen type of look to the room.
It's beautiful.
And I still really try to uphold a 5-star attitude. I do, like, especially upon greeting and especially if like you don't know anything about me, you know?
Oh, I love 5-star greeting. I love that.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to go where someone's too relaxed when they greet me.
Hey, you good? What's that? Anything hurting? Yeah.
I'm very big on respect.
Yes.
Respect, honor, you know? And so I really try, it's a dance, right? So even in the talking, the interviewing. So like I really, if they want to get there with me right away, then I will reveal more.
Sure.
Faster.
Sure. And you don't have a type of massage. Like some people say there's Swedish, there's deep tissue. You don't
Not
even
at
have
all.
a style.
Yeah.
And it's your own style.
Yes. Unless it's very specific, like medical issues.
Of course.
I'll stick to a protocol. But everybody has their own genetic makeup of what they need. And so I just try to listen to that, whether with their words or what their body is saying to me.
Yeah.
Now for a quick word from our sponsors. From the chief lobbyist of Matos Consulting, Jay is spearheading a new bill for consumption lounges. Jay is passionate about alternative places to consume cannabis so our city and the Strip can remain family-friendly.
Well, I would like to talk about being on the recipient end of your massages, especially the ones we've had of late, because we've done quite a few trades, is that it doesn't ever feel like just a massage. Because I don't really get massages. I just always didn't feel like it's worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like it feels real good right then. Sometimes not even that great. And then it's like, meh. It doesn't feel lasting. And I think now as I'm saying it out loud, I understand why your work feels lasting. Because when we as people in service get out of the way and serve as a vessel for the divine, that's what I believe is happening. The end user feels that all the way through. And this last one that I had on my birthday massage was after my 5-MeO experience. So I was wide open anyway. And this was just enhanced. But I feel like I don't need to tell you what body part's hurting. You have a way of reading and flowing with the energy And like, I'm having foot surgery, and you knew instinctively like what was going on. And I've tried to like massage my foot the way you do. Like, I can do it. And I'm like, no, it does not feel like what she did. And I really commend you on being able to read energy and your knowledge and wisdom of the human body, your knowledge and intimacy with yourself that you can surrender and allow then the energy for the client to surrender. Because massage is like half you, half us.
Yeah.
And you make me feel like I can tell where there's a point where you and I meet, and then you'll back up if I don't surrender in that second. But like,
Right.
I breathe and there's like an intuitive flow.
Dancing again.
That's right. And then, okay. And then like, you'll know just long enough to hold it at a place where I know now that's me, have to meet her halfway, and then let go. And that's, I think, where the real healing is. You're gently guiding me to a point, whether any part in the body, and I'm allowing that to finish. And I think the cannabis, because we've consumed before together, for me, it's about not a lot of cannabis, 2 puffs of just to meet the frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it just feels like real healing is happening because the frequency of things. Yeah.
Which Gia's Cannabis, she loves to do Reiki on. She even has
Oh my God, that's right.
energetic stones in there too.
Yeah.
And then she'll even label it Angelic Realms.
Angelic Realm, that's
it
our
all has
favorite.
its own vibe to it. And
Thank
I
you
feel
for
like
acknowledging that's my brand.
I really feel like that has a lot.
I do too.
I mean, because it's your love in
It's
it.
my love in that. And the
Yeah.
angelic realms is what I use for Reiki and body work. And I really would love to see you prosper in this because you're doing intuitive readings, you're doing energy work, and you're doing body work and all of that. I just commend you on and still growing with the stones, oils, right? Tell us more about what else is in your platform that someone might expect.
Oh, I do cupping therapy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's really fun. That's been popular. That was a good Kickstarter for me as well.
Okay.
I feel like the energy work just started getting popular within this last year.
I do find that a lot of me was pretty weird because I've been knee deep in the weird for several years now. And I felt like pre-Rona people were like, okay, Gia, that sounds weird. But now they're like, oh, say more about that. Tell me about chakras. And I'm like, oh, sit down. So I think you're absolutely right. Our planet, because we need more of this. That's why we've had like a lot of people on the show with light workers, other plant medicines, how cannabis is an integrative tool, and now integrating into our wellness practices, which is massage. And we've had meditation on here. It just weaves into all of that. Do you smoke before each client?
No, I feel like my high usually lasts throughout the day.
Sure.
Unless there's something else going on, which
Sure.
I feel like I need to, then I'll do it
Yeah.
more. That's like another level of trust too.
Yes.
Because I'm under the influence, but in a very good way.
Absolutely.
Though, because like body workers, they do a lot, and cannabis helps you to get out of your body.
Sure.
And
To be the vessel.
yeah, I do a lot of stretching because I'm not self-conscious when I'm
Okay.
consuming cannabis. I'm very much just in the zone.
Yes.
I was about to say Christ conscious, but spirit
Well,
conscious.
Same. What's the difference?
Yeah, exactly. Because exactly.
Right. I mean, we all say that's the Trinity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I do feel like I enjoy it better. I feel like maybe I do it better.
Talk about your art, April. And that's another commonality that we have. You taught me about oil paint. It's changed my whole game.
Yeah, and Raphael taught me about it. So there he is again, guiding everything,
Yes.
playing it up.
Have you always painted though?
No. So I was very much like pencil art.
Okay, but you did doodle.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Like instead of playing with dolls, I was drawing as a
Okay.
kid.
I did a lot of that too.
Yeah.
my
So when
God.
you were saying that, I was like, that sounds a lot. But I didn't make jewelry. That's really cute.
I made
Aw,
seashell jewelry. I was
love
telling
that. You
April.
little hippie.
I totally am.
You were a flower child from the start.
I was. I would go to we went to Florida and we'd get like those bag of shells for $1, and I would take a nail and a hammer and bam, make a hole, which was like a crater of a hole, and then string them on
I love that.
yarn and just clankety clank walk around.
I love it. That
Oh my
is
God,
so
it was.
cute.
I wish to God my mother would have saved one of those necklaces. But yeah, so it's no surprise that later in life I actually made real jewelry.
That's
you know,
awesome.
beaded stuff. So, but back to you. You were saying about Raphael and the painting.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, what was I saying? I got you,
Giving me
girl.
the eyes like,
Right,
help.
I got you.
So when in that time that he was coaching me on his death,
What does that mean? Coaching you on his death?
because he would tell me like, my time's gonna come, and I'm like, please don't say that. You know,
Right. Is it okay to talk about this now?
Oh yeah, keep it 100, right?
Yes.
Someone needs to hear it.
Absolutely.
And he would say, he was just so loving about it. He was like, it's okay, like I'm just going to go back up to the spirit in the sky. And whenever you think of me, I'm always around you. Like, those are the phrases that he implanted in my heart.
So beautiful.
And, sorry.
No, it's beautiful.
So him coaching me on that, he would also just, he had such little time with me. So he saw just the 100% purity in me during that short amount of time. And he would say, I want you to start oil painting. And I'm like, I'm really intimidated by it. I don't think I'll be good at it. He's like, just have fun with it. Don't even look at it as a job. Don't have like a, this is my obligation or my objective.
Right. Don't try to make money. Just have fun.
Just have fun. Just swirl it. And I did. Like, when I just used the crimson red and I just started swirling all around the canvas. It, like, I think I still have it. It's just nothing. But he could see the depth in it. He's like, and I was seeing it too. I'm like, oh, wow, they look like clouds, you know? Like, it looks like a red, cloudy sky.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was awesome.
A red, cloudy sky.
Yeah. Wow. And so I sent it to him, and the way you're talking to me, the way you're seeing it without actually seeing it, that was his feedback. And he, in that moment, I'm like, he's my number one fan. This man loves me so much.
So cool.
And so when he passed, I was just in my stuff again. That deep, deep hurt that makes you want to drink, that makes you want to kill yourself. And instead, I was sitting around my family, his 1-year passing anniversary, and I just picked up and started painting, and I actually painted one of my client's daughters. He took a picture of her when they were in Italy, and it was just so beautiful. And it's ironic because it's the father's lens looking at his daughter, just perfectly in the sun.
Sure.
And it came out perfect. I'm talking about my first oil painting, and
you really are talented. Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know I could do this. I never took an oil painting class, and it evolved. I mean, that was like 4 years ago, you know, when I did my
4 years.
Yeah.
Wow. You've got some great work. Do you sell your art?
I do. Yeah. Not
do you commission
often.
work? Like, if someone said, do my.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Where? So before we go on, where can people find you to get massage work or paint?
Just direct contact.
Can I get some paint from you? Or some of your art or commissionable work?
So my Instagram is at Art of Healing LMT.
Yeah, that's the same as your website. So go ahead and share that again.
Art of Healing LMT, licensed massage therapist.
Yeah, so it's www all that plus.com.
Yes.
Art of Healing LMT.
Yeah.
Licensed massage therapist. Licensed massage therapist. Okay, I love it. So what would you, if you were to characterize the experience people would have if they wanted a massage from you, knowing all that we've just said, how would you create that for them?
In order to give them the protocol that they need specifically, I feel like I try to do a good conversation before. What are you looking for? I get very direct. What are you hoping for out of this massage? You know,
Okay.
This is how I've been feeling in my body, and word of mouth has evolved more. It's more than massage. So now people come in and they you know what, my homegirl's really safe with her, so I already kind of feel safe.
Of course.
So just like therapy, a lot of people come real right away. So I'm really feeling it here, but I'm also going through this as well, and I'm like, and I don't ask for it. Like, this is just happening.
It just opens that container. They feel safe.
Yeah, and so I don't, because like I get kind of nervous at first, like, oh, how am I going to make them feel better? I'm like, shh, no.
Right, that's the ego.
Yeah, you're not the helper.
No, the
Martha,
ego is not.
Just go back to the kitchen.
The ego's name Martha?
Yeah, Martha Mary.
I have different names for her. Yeah.
So yeah, so I just try to listen.
By the way, I want to acknowledge that you have no like spiritual ego around the beauty of your work.
Thank you.
Because you and I, like, people ask me about Reiki, I'm like, I don't do anything.
Yeah.
You know what my cosmology is? Because I tend to like, I'll use a rattle or a stone or something. Not all the time. Or sometimes I'm just in meditation. And it's, to me, it's source just saying, hey, can you just go play with your toys while I do the work?
Right.
And I'm over here with a drum. I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of having fun. Boom, boom. You know, and I think you do the same. Like, you just step out of the way and in servant mindset, you know, for the client.
And you told me recently your room is your temple. And so the reason why we're able to have these results when we're just like banging on a drum and spirit's over here doing something else is because it's actually just our relationship with spirit. And it's so big.
Right.
So as soon as people want to come in that space, it's like it's just effortless. It really
Right.
is.
No, I completely agree. It's all frequency, right?
Yeah.
Support for Get Elevated with Gia is provided by Cureleaf. With 2 locations in Las Vegas and 1 in Ely, Nevada, Cureleaf specializes in cannabis products ranging from edibles to flower. More information is available at Cureleaf.com. Cureleaf, Nevada. Cannabis with confidence. Keep out of reach of children. For use by adults 21 years of age and older.
So let's finish talking about your experience so that people, I just want to set some expectations. Like you come in, it's very customized. You're inquiring and opening up that container.
Yeah. So interview process, I can kind of gauge whether
Most people do 90 minutes.
I feel like,
Yeah,
yeah.
nobody's doing an hour massage anymore.
Yeah. I mean, the hot tamale these days is 120 minutes.
Yeah, I love those.
yeah.
I recommend that to everyone. Yeah. Well, by the time you can really surrender, you're an hour in.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
From the workday and the traffic and the noise. Yeah.
Yeah, just like in our energy sessions.
That's
lots
right.
of breathing first.
I don't even put the clock on with those, and I probably should, 'cause, but I don't want to be like, looking at my clock. It just breaks the momentum.
Yes.
I just trust that spirit will close the session when it's supposed to close. And all the time, it's pretty much like 45 minutes to an hour, except ours.
Yeah.
You're
and
like,
that's
I gotta
cool.
go.
You're like refining it. Yeah, let's hang out after though. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like, I gotta get back to my husband. That one night, you're like, me and my husband are without kids tonight. I'm like, girl, get out of here. What are you doing? Shame on
I was
me.
having a lot of fun though.
I know. It
That
was
says
like
a
two
lot.
kids playing. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, back to your experience that I keep interrupting, but don't mean to. For people when they come in, the interview process,
Yeah.
they're doing 2-hour massages because that's the best.
Yes. So I try to have a slow start with my hands.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's weird. It's like I can't really explain the protocol
Sure.
because it is I'm in the subconscious. My body's doing the physical work.
Sure.
Because my hands have been doing this for such a long time that they know the density's here. We're going to press in deeper there. But
You're not sitting there going, this is the super spinatus and I'm going to.
my hands are doing its own thing. My hands are in the driver's seat.
Okay.
And then my spirit is actually enjoying the ride with you.
Sure.
And so it's like we're both in a spaceship and we're both looking out the window, viewing space
Wow.
in awe, like, wow, this is awesome. And my hands are like the spaceship, right?
Dude, that's awesome.
So I'm like,
You should put your an astronaut on your business card.
I love it.
I think I want to do that
Yes.
too. We should both do that.
I love that.
Yeah, because it does feel like I'm out of this.
Psychedelic astronauts.
Whether I'm psychonaut, duh. Not really original, but whether I'm giving or receiving the work, the Reiki, I always feel like I'm blasted out there. And that's really
Yes.
with mostly breath work, to be honest.
And that's what makes it really magical is because I will be feeling that in our sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll start describing what I'm seeing.
Sure.
And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, whoa.
Right. We're just connected. And that's not just because we're friends. It's a connection that we're able to make.
That was
through our
right away.
frequency. Yeah.
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 That was right away.
Yeah. So, okay. So how do you know when to use stones or the oils? Like what's the, protocol, if you will?
Yeah, I ask like important questions first. Like, hey, is there anything medical I need to be aware of?
Sure.
Injuries, things like that. Okay, great. We got through all the medical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to incorporate cupping therapy, hot
Sure.
stone.
Sure. What does cupping do for people who don't know? Like I've seen all the red marks on people. I've been through cupping for about a decade with my acupuncturist.
Oh, that's great.
I have my theory, but because I can't understand anything he said.
Oh.
So I'd be like, Dr. Mike, what's this advice? Oh, da, da, da. I was like, yeah, I don't
You're
know.
like, awesome.
But I bought some cups from him. I was like, oh, those seem pretty cool. I want some cups at home.
Do you use them?
I have a theory, but I want to know what your or understanding of it is for cupping.
So I feel like it works both physically and energetically. And it does work acupoints too.
Sure.
Chinese medicine and things like that.
Yes.
So for me, I love how it's just another pair of hands because it's an alternative form of deep tissue, right?
Okay,
So I'm
sure.
doing deep work already. I come in with hot stones. Now I'm melting your muscles even more. And then I come in with the cupping therapy.
Coming in with the cupping.
and it's just manipulating everything.
Sure.
It's pulling it up.
Now you've got the cups that are like acrylic. Not acrylic. What's the word?
So I have silicone.
Silicone.
And then I have like fiberglass.
Right. But so they're soft and pliable a
They
little bit.
are, yeah.
I have the ones that they're like plastic
The
and
fiber,
you
yeah, the plastic
use the gun.
fiberglass. Yeah.
And so I think what Dr. Mike told me is like it's pulling stale blood to the surface.
Exactly.
And so that's why some areas are going to be redder than others. And just by doing that and removing that sort of, I guess, inflammatory process and bringing it up to the surface, it allows the chi to flow more freely.
Yeah, because
Right? I mean, is that your understanding of them?
pain is dysfunction. Something's not moving the way it should,
Right.
whether it be blood or
Right.
energy, right?
Right.
And so it does. It pulls it up to the surface so that it can go through lymphatic system, your urine, your stool. You know?
Right. And that's why after like a good massage or acupuncture, you might have to go to the bathroom. You feel your tummy.
Detox, yeah.
I just find that I love Chinese medicine.
Me too.
And
yeah.
acupuncture.
They deal with the whole, you know?
Well, and the whole meridians, when you really start to understand the points, it's pretty magical how all of this comes together.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think
Very
that
powerful.
being a practitioner in that space would be pretty epic right now. You
Oh,
know?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not my jam anymore, but I'm not going to medical school. But that is why I gravitate towards what I do, you know, working with the energy and then combining that with psychedelics over time beyond cannabis and really doing the deep work when that stuff is available.
Yes.
Yeah. So I share all of that with you. Is there a closeout that you have with the client to kind of close the energy field, if you will, or something?
I think my whole mantra right now is just love over fear. So if what you heard sounds interesting, but there's some like fearful thoughts towards anything, just replace that with love. Just be open-minded, come in authentic. Like that's what our intention is for you, is that we want all of you. Come as you are, you know? Everybody's trying to put on a mask these days, literally, right?
Yeah.
But take off your mask, figuratively.
Yes. Have you felt people come in like, came for my massage, and then like
yeah.
when they leave, I'll bet they're just like, oh my gosh.
I love that.
I mentioned that happens a lot with you.
I love it. And a lot of them will apologize for it, which I appreciate.
Sidebar question. Have you ever had a client that's like 15 to 20 minutes late?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I would feel so resentful. Like to me, that's a whole nother session.
Yeah.
Like being late for services like that is like traffic, okay, 5, 10. But if you're more than 10 minutes late, that's kind of another appointment.
I mean, there's times if I can accommodate you, I will try.
Or you're still paying the same price. We still have the same hard stop.
If I'm here on time and you're not,
Yeah.
and if we're like homies, depending on how I feel, but
Sure.
if we're client friend, you know,
Sure.
yeah, you're going to pay for your session, man. I was here.
Right.
I woke up, I set everything up for you.
Have people have people been late and expected not to pay the full thing?
The full thing?
Yeah.
Oh, like,
No.
oh, I mean, if they come in and get a session.
What if it's a 90-minute massage, but they're 30 minutes late? Do you charge the whole 90?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Unless I'm in a very giving mood.
Yeah. And then a question about tipping, because, you know, let's say you go to someone's house and you say the services is $250. Do you expect a tip?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm asking because people like the non-industry people, we talk about it because it's like
tip your massage therapist
all the time, right?
Even servers, tip your servers,
tip everybody,
you know?
just tips for everybody, 20%.
Yeah. If you love what you got, you know, for artwork, I don't expect to get tipped.
Of course,
it's different, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, if like I don't know, if you love the performance, tip.
Yeah. Fair enough. Enough said.
Yeah.
Okay, April, one more time where people can find you.
theartofhealinglmt.com, www.theartofhealinglmt.com.
They can contact you for art if they wanted to talk about anything.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
All the contact information's on there. Instagram is at artofhealinglmt.
And what is something interesting and fun that we did not uncover about you today?
Interesting and fun.
We've covered a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Anything else that you're super passionate about?
My kids. I love my kids.
Yeah.
I love my
that was
dog.
coming. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, those are good enough things.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is your wish for humanity?
Acceptance. Let's just, you know.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
Peace,
that.
love, happiness.
Yeah. No, those are good things. Those are good things. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for the gift that you've given me that you can also help expand my practice. And I'm on Instagram, people. I never talk about where to find me. I fail to talk about where to find me, even my last name or even that we're on Spotify. And I'm terrible at that. Find us on Instagram. I'm at gia.kubik. So thank you, April, for bringing your gifts to the world, for bringing your gifts to our listeners today. And as I always like to say, dear friends, thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome to the future of cannabis. My name is Gia. I'll be your tour guide.
Peace.
You have been listening to a paid program sponsored by Get Elevated. Please be advised that the voices and opinions you heard do not necessarily represent the views of KUNV Las Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education.